guys, welcome back. So before I jump in, I would like some opinions. If you would like to hear some more videos about paranormal and UFO sightings or even strange occurrences, go ahead and like this video. You can even leave a comment letting me know on exactly what you would like to hear coming up. And then be sure to subscribe as well. That way you can get updates for when I post my newest videos. This week, we are talking about a very strange case. This has to do with paranormal, extraterrestrials, UFOs. So the place is located 512 acres southeast of Ballard, Utah, and it is called SkinWalker Ranch, also known as Sherman Ranch. So before this land was known as a ranch, it was home to witches, known as the Skinwalkers, according to Ute and Navajo tribes that resided nearby. So these two tribes refused to go near this land because they thought it was cursed. These Navajo witches were known as cannibals and necrophiliacs. They say they were able to shapeshift and were very dangerous. They had lived in this land for more than 100 years. In 1951, a school teacher by the name of Junior Hicks and his students witnessed a UFO in the sky above the ranch. From then on, Junior Hicks recorded every event he witnessed, and that was unusual at the ranch, and it turned out to be over 400 different events, including paranormal activity. Many of the locals knew this ranch to be called Werewolf Ridge. However, we are unsure as to why. I'm sure we'll find out soon, though. In the 1960s, the Meyer family moved into this ranch and built their home on the northwest corner of the property. This is where most of the activity took place. The Meyers eventually abandoned this home and decided to move to this eastern side of the ranch. However, there was no known unusual experiences coming from the family, but many of their neighbors had many reports themselves. So a few years later, in 1994, another family moved in after the Meyers left, and they were known as the Sherman family. Their intent was to live on this ranch and to create a very successful cattle business there. And when they moved in, the place was completely abandoned. They had a really hard time figuring out who had actually lived there previously. And as they looked around the ranch, they found some crazy things. So they found deadbolt locks on all doors and windows, and even the cabinets in the kitchen. And at both ends of the house were huge chains and iron stakes, making them believe that there was a restraint for a heavy animal. The first day they moved in, they came across a wolf who attacked one of their small calf. The wolf would not let go, so Terry Sherman, the father, started shooting at the wolf with a small handgun. It eventually walked off, seemingly unharmed, into the woods. When Terry chased after the wolf, it had just disappeared. The tracks were gone. They started off with 80 cattle, and after just 2 years of living there, 14 of them were mutilated. Soon after moving in, the family experienced all types of strange occurrences. They heard voices not only in the house, but also outside around the ranch as well. They say they saw UFOs, cryptids, and even paranormal events taking place. One instance, Gwen Sherman drove up to the property in their Chevy and encountered a wolf bigger than the car itself. However, this wasn't the only incident they would have with wolves that were larger than normal. There were reports of them seeing beams of light moving around in the sky. They would even find large holes and crop circles on their property, and at times they even smelled a horrible, musty odor within their house and the sound of a machine coming from underground. There was witnesses seeing small blue orbs around the property, and even some farmers nearby had seen them as well. So these people weren't going crazy because other people saw this as well. At one time, their dog followed one of the orbs into the brush that was nearby, and the dog began to howl as if it was in pain. The next day, the dog was discovered incinerated. After this occurred, the Shermans put the place up for sale and wanted out of there as soon as they could. Eventually, an organization bought the property. This organization was called NIDS, the National Institute of Discovery Science. The organization convinced the Shermans to stay on the land just a little longer so that they would be able to do some research and observe what was actually going on. So the first night that they were there, they encountered a yellow-looking orb hovering 20 feet off the ground, and then a human-like animal climbed up a tree nearby. And they believe that this was the animal that mutilated all of their cattle. So they began to shoot at it, and just like before, it ran off unharmed into the snow and lost it. They did, however, find human-like footprints and large claw marks in the snow. During the time they were there, more of the cattle were mutilated, and it was discovered that it was done with a very sharp object, and that the cattle's blood was drained from the body, and about 40% of the mass inside the cattle was removed. The NIDS stayed till 2004 doing research on this ranch, and they had more than 100 encounters with UFOs, paranormal, and cryptids. To this day, the ranch is closed, and there are guards surrounding it due to too many people trespassing. However, the occurrences have definitely declined since 1990s, but if you do want to know more about the story, you can actually watch the movie, and it's called SkinWalker Ranch. Thank you for joining in this week, and I look forward to next week's video. Be sure to let me know if you like the stories, and if you want to hear anything specific, just let me know in the comments, and make sure you subscribe for some upcoming videos. Bye, guys!